Lately, I've been trying to figure out ways that I can possibly quit my job and do something else full-time that makes me feel less like my soul is slowly being sucked from my body. For anybody that works retail, you will understand. For anybody that works retail while also dealing with multiple mental illnesses, you'll really understand. When I come home from a day of work, I feel like I have no energy left at all to do the things that I really want to do. Most of the time, the most that I can push myself into doing is coming home, cleaning up my house, reading for a bit maybe, and then getting ready for the next day. Or if I'm not reading for a bit, maybe I'll watch a show or something. And then I basically do that and then rinse, wash, repeat, do it all again the next day. Usually until the weekend, which is when I get a bit more things done. I usually only shoot videos on the weekend, and then I leave everything pertaining to my other side businesses on the weekdays. This way I don't burn myself out. But for the past 2 weekends, I have had plans because my family came up to visit, and so that threw my plans like all out of whack and out of the way. And not to mention that my family being here left no time for me to like decompress after work, which is very much needed when you have the mental illnesses that I do. I need my time after work to like breathe and just have a second to myself after dealing with that place all day because I freaking hate it. So basically, I have not been able to upload any content due to having my family visit and also just being in a soul-sucking environment day in and day out. Lately, I have really been feeling just how much I hate my job, and it has not only stopped my video uploading, I've also not produced any new work for about 2 to 3 weeks. I want to say somewhere around then. I think it's the last time I even produced anything at all. If you go on my Insta, you'll see the last thing I did was the last video I posted, which was that like Dragon Girl. And I have not done anything after that. I just have not had the energy or like the motivation. I couldn't do it. Usually if I don't upload a video, I still at least draw or paint something during the week just because I like to produce it. I just like producing work, and also because I don't like to leave my Instagram that long with nothing on it, because that is the place where I get the most engagement for my art. And so I don't want to leave the people that are, engaging with my art too long without giving them something else, because then you lose followers. And you kind of need those when you're trying to sell your art. So I really had to push myself to do this one today. I don't know. I usually am okay with just like feeling like I'm ready to go on the weekend when it's time for me to do a video. But for today, I had to push myself to do this. And that is not a place that I want to be in. And I still think that has to do with just how much I hate that place. I've just been so drained of energy lately. It also started snowing for a bit today, and it's really freaking cold out, so that's not helping matters at all. And I think they cut the heat off where I live. It's an apartment complex, so I think that they're thinking it's like springtime, so no more heat for the tenants. But yeah, not good. It was pretty chilly today, and then I think it was like hail snowing for a couple of minutes, so I was not happy. So like I was saying, I have been really trying to find alternative ways to maybe make a livable income without having to work retail. And yes, I know there are other jobs available besides retail. Although the job market where I live is not very good, majority of the jobs that are available here are retail anyways. There's not a lot of like other jobs available where I live. But I do know that there are other jobs available, but my job opportunities are limited because I don't know how to drive. And I don't live in a place where anything is like in a walkable distance besides the retail places mostly. And the other businesses that might be in a walkable distance, they're not hiring. So that's not helpful at all. So my options are really limited to the places that I know I can get to and not be late every day, because you obviously don't want to be late to your job because you will get fired. Then what's the point of going somewhere else anyway? So I have a limited job market, and then I have an even more limited job market than there are other people up here because I don't drive. There's also very limited public transportation where I live. It's very specific to the spots that'll take you. The times are not very good. It's not what I'm used to when I used to live in the city, where you could have a job anywhere, you can get where you needed by taking the public transportation. Now I'm up here in the freaking mountains, and it's just not the same as it is there. It's very limited. It is really exhausting and annoying knowing that I don't have the freedom to be able to go wherever I want to go when I want to go somewhere. So that's not fun, especially when it's pertaining to my job. As much as I freaking hate that place, like when I'm ready to leave, I want to go. But most of the time, I'm like ready to go. I clock out, and then I have to call my cab, and then I have to wait for my cab to get there, which can take anywhere from 5 minutes up until an hour. And yes, I have been waiting an hour before. I think I've actually waited like an hour and 30 minutes before. If it gets into the summertime, you have really long wait times for when your cabs come. So it is horrible. Not only do I have to sit in that place, but then I have to sit there for sometimes like 30 minutes after as I wait for my cab to go, even though I'm not even on the clock. And I'm just sitting there being even more annoyed with the place. But anyways, back on track. I do have 2 Etsy shops currently. One is my art print shop, and that's why I sell prints of all my art that I produce on this channel. It's also very slow going on that front. It's very slow going where selling prints is concerned, kind of like how growing this channel has been. And I know that's because art is subjective, and it's really hard to get an audience with an art channel because people have to really, really like your art, and they have to want to keep coming back to it and want to keep looking at you produce it. And I know that my art isn't the kind where thousands of people are going to want to flock to it in awe, just because of the subject and the style of it, I guess. And I'm okay with that. I know that it will take time to grow, but the amount of engagement I usually get on my Instagram kind of gave me false hope that my Etsy shop would do a lot better than it's currently doing. And it's not like I expected to start the Etsy shop again and then to have like this crazy influx of sales. It's not like people were like asking me where are your prints. I mean, I had a couple of people, but it's not like I had like a bunch of people like, when are you going to sell prints? So I knew that it wasn't going to immediately be this crazy thing that I was going to be like getting orders all the time. But I do think it gave me a little bit of false hope just because of how much engagement I get on there. So yeah, that was not good. I think since I have re-put all the art up on my Etsy shop, I have had a total of 2 sales. And I want to say that was like a year ago that I started putting things on there again. And I'm grateful for those 2 sales. Like, definitely be grateful for whatever you get. Like, I'm happy I got those 2 sales. It's just because one was a really big sale. I had a customer buy 4 prints, so that was really nice of her. So that was a good sale. But I thought that I would have more than that, a year or 2 sales. So that's not very good. It's nowhere near enough for me to be able to feel like I can quit my job in order to pursue this as a form of like employment. I don't think that's gonna happen. I also have a second Etsy shop where I sell my witch merch. That Etsy shop actually does really well compared to my art shop. Not saying that it does like well, like wow, I'm making loads of money, but it does well compared to the art shop where I only had 2 sales in a year. Because for the witch shop, for a couple of months, I want to say for a lot of maybe like 5 months, maybe 4, somewhere around there, I was getting at least 1 sale a week, which didn't amount to much, but it was something, But I recently found out that Etsy increased its fees. I don't know if it was last year or the year before, but I was not in the know. The last time I looked at Etsy fees, it was 20 cents to post something on there, like 20 cents to post your product on there. And then it was 30 cents per sale you made, and then 2.9% of whatever the price was of the product. But now it's like, there's a whole bunch of different fees. It's like a list of 4 fees, and it's, I don't know, there's a different fees, and now their fee is not 2.9%, it's 5%. And so their fees went up and they added more fees onto it. So I had to obviously increase my prices because I didn't know that the fees increased. So I had no freaking clue that the pieces that I were listing were not getting the profit that I thought they were. And a couple of items I was selling, they weren't even worth putting up based on what I was making them in the time I was putting in them. I couldn't sell them for more because I know that they weren't worth more than what I had them listed for. So they were just kind of like, once I sell these, I can't bring these back into my shop because no one's going to buy it for more, but I'm not making a profit off of them. And keep in mind that all the things that I sell on my Etsy shop are all handmade and carefully made and painted and crafted, and that all my time combined with the price and materials, which is not cutting it for a lot of them. So I did have to revamp my pricing scales, and since then I've not made a single scale, and like not one single sale. I even introduced new products into my shop, like new products that I was really, really excited about. Like, I want to buy these. Like, if someone had these in their shop, I would buy them. So I was really excited about them, but I'm just not having any luck in that department lately. I want to say it's been like a month since I've had a sale. So if I'm going from having a sale like every week to having none now suddenly, it's a big change. But even before I adjusted my prices, the profit I was making off of that shop was still not enough for me to feel comfortable quitting my job and pursuing that as a business choice, like as a choice of employment. It was nowhere near enough. Even that combined with my art Etsy, it's just not enough. Like, that wouldn't even cover half my rent. That wouldn't even cover my groceries. That wouldn't even cover my cat's food, the stuff that I was making. Like, it was just not enough for me to feel comfortable leaving my jobs in order to pursue those. I'm now starting to think about doing like a print-on-demand Spotify shop. I'm not sure on what product I'm planning on selling on there. I was thinking the t-shirts and like basically like what RedBubble would do, but just doing it on Shopify instead, and like working with one of the print-on-demand apps on there because the markup on them is not as high as it is on RedBubble. I had this whole video on RedBubble where I spoke about their prices and how you make very little profit margin on them, and I don't see how anyone can make a living selling their stuff on RedBubble because you don't make a lot of money on there unless your stuff is crazy expensive. So that's why I've been looking into Shopify lately. What I'm hoping is that I can have multiple sources of income, and that even if all of them aren't like enough to live off of, that all of them together will put me in a position where I'll feel comfortable quitting my job and being able to work full time on the businesses that I want to work on, and not feeling like I have to have my soul sucked out every day by going back to that job. I honestly really love running my Etsy shop and creating the new art, and I love creating all the products for the witch community, all of which these products are products that I use myself personally. Like, I make them for myself first, and then I'm like, oh, that'd be a good product to sell because I use this every day. So I'm not trying to sell like bogus items here. Like, I know a lot of shops are like, these are all handmade and none of it's like fake junk, And the prints that I sell, I print them myself, but it's not like, I don't like print them cheaply. Like, I have a real thick matte paper. Like, I'm trying to do like real good shop here. I'm not like selling junk. So I feel like my prices are reasonable. I mean, if you want to check them out and let me know. If they're not, let me know. I can leave a link to both of the shops. But the only thing I'm having a problem with is the legality of starting businesses and running them, because it's all very confusing. And the more research I do, the more confused I become. So hopefully I can figure that out soon. I think that if I keep pursuing these two businesses, that I will eventually get to the point where I want to be. I just hate that I have to stay at a job that I absolutely hate in the meantime in order to wait for me to get there. I know that I don't want to quit doing any of it because I don't want to be like 3 years later and to be thinking to myself like, dang, I should have just kept doing it, because imagine where I could be now. So I'm definitely going to keep doing it. It's a lot when you have to go somewhere you hate every day and you'd rather be doing something else with your own time, but no one's biting. So if anyone else has tried to break away from your soul-sucking job to pursue your dreams, let me know about your journey. Maybe we can compare notes. Maybe you know stuff I don't know, or maybe I know stuff you don't know. Probably not, because I don't know a whole lot. Also, if you like any of the art in this video or any other video, you can obviously find it in my Etsy shop. There's obviously a link in the description, but I'll also leave a link to my witch shop in case anyone wants to tell me if my products are not good or if my prices are not good. I don't know. I welcome the feedback. Give me the feedback, all the feedback you want. Anyways, that's all I have to say for today. Bye.